Let me tell you a story. Burning ice, biting flame, that is how life began. In the south is a realm called Muspel. That place flickers with dancing flames. It seethes and it shines. No one can endure it except those born into it. Black Surt is there. He sits on the furthest reach of that land, brandishing a flaming sword. He is already waiting for the end when he will rise and savage the gods and whelm the whole world with fire. In the north is a realm called Niflheim. It is packed with ice and covered with vast sweeps of snow. In the heart of that region lies the spring Kvegomir, and that is the source of 11 rivers. Between these realms, there once stretched a huge and seeming emptiness. This was Ginnungagap. When I was a kid in a small-town library in Nebraska, I stumbled on an illustrated collection of Norse myths. The cover and other drawings are what caught me, of course, but as I delved into the stories, they wrapped me in ideas and worlds that seemed far more magical, powerful, and important than the small lives I saw around me in that little town. Gods and giants had their places. Humans and monsters and dwarves all came alive. Fruits that gave eternal youth, a giant tree that held up the world, a slumbering snake large enough to circle the earth with its body. There were stories out there that could carry me far from the confines of the cornfields, creeks, and petty dramas of small-town elementary school that surrounded me. I was hooked. I was hooked then on the power that myths have over the human imagination. Ymir was a frost giant. He was evil from the first. While he slept, he began to sweat. A man and a woman grew out of the ooze under his left armpit. As more of the ice in Ginnungagap melted, the fluid took the form of a cow. She was called Audumla. Ymir fed off the 4 rivers of milk that coursed from her teats, and Audumla fed off the ice itself. She licked the salty blocks, and by the evening of the first day, a man's hair had come out of the ice. Audumla licked more, and by the evening of the second day, a man's head had come. Audumla licked again, and by the evening of the third day, the whole man had come. His name was Buri. Buri was tall and strong and good-looking. In time, he had a son called Bor, and Bor married a daughter of Bolthor, one of the frost giants. Her name was Bestla, and she mothered 3 children, all of them sons. The first was Odin, the second was Vili, and the third was Ve. Wouldn't it be amazing to be one of 3 brothers, the sons of giants, born in the time before the world was set in the forms that we now see it? The 3 sons of Bor had no liking for Ymir, and the growing gang of unruly, brutal frost giants. As time went on, they grew to hate them. At last, they attacked Ymir and killed him. His wounds were like springs, so much blood streamed from them, and so fast that the blood drowned all the frost giants. Odin and Vili and Ve hoisted the body of the dead frost giant onto their shoulders and carted it into the middle of Ginnungagap. That is where they made the world from his body. They shaped the earth from Ymir's flesh, and the mountains from his unbroken bones. From his teeth and jaws and the fragments of his shattered bones, they made rocks and boulders and stones. Murder and building worlds out of bones? Where my teachers at school gave me simple stories about George Washington and Thomas Jefferson and Ben Franklin to read. But wait a minute, aren't those myths too? But these stories laid out raw, bloody struggles for power and the creation of mountains. Odin and Vili and Ve used the welter of blood to make landlocked lakes and to make the sea. After they had formed the earth, they laid the rocking ocean in a ring right around it, It is so wide that most men would dismiss the very idea of crossing it.